welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Twee. Today I am dressed up in pink because it's Valentine's Day. So we're going to be starting off a new series on my channel where I'm going to be getting ready with you guys and we're going to do themed Q&As. So we're going to be talking all about relationships, all about your dilemmas. We're going to be diving into my relationship as well. I've been with my boyfriend for 11 years, guys. It's been a long ass time. So I know a thing or two about relationships. Also in this video, I showed you guys how to create this makeup look using the Blood Sugar palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. So if you guys want to see how I created this look and hear all of my advice about your relationships, then please keep watching. Okay guys, I'm literally starting off with a fresh base. I literally just got out of the shower. I'm going to start off with a primer. This is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Hydrating Primer. If you guys haven't saw my last vlog, I was just away with Laura Mercier celebrating these new primers. And oh my god, they are so nice. They literally have a primer for everyone. Okay, so I just got sent the Bite Beauty Change Maker Supercharged Micellar Foundation. I got sent 3 shades, but all of them were really, really pink. This was the only one that had a slightly yellow undertone. It actually gives a really natural finish. It's definitely more on the matte side. I am struggling from the biggest post-acne scar right now. Okay, so this is one layer with the foundation. It's a very, very natural foundation. It doesn't give me as much coverage as I would like. If you have more oily skin, but you want something natural, this might be really good for you. I'm just going to go in the Dragon Beauty colour corrector just to cover up these dark spots that I have at the moment. This colour corrector dries really quickly, so there ain't no time to be messing around, my friend. Okay, so I'm just going to go over with a bit more foundation. I'm going to use the Hourglass Vanish Stick. I feel like it's been a while since I used this. And I remember I loved it at one point when my skin was really, really dry. Okay, I'm just going to go in with the Hourglass Concealer in the shade Fawn. The first question is, how do you keep the romance alive when you're in a long-term relationship? Oh, girl. If anyone knows this, please let me know because I feel like I am notorious for getting stuck in a rut. I feel like something that really helps me and Grang is going out and like doing little dates. So we go out to eat a lot, we go out to the cinema a lot. For me personally, I am the type of person that is so happy to just stay at home, but Grang is the complete opposite. He loves going out, he loves going out to do things. He gets really, really bad cabin fever, whereas honestly I can stay indoors for like a week straight and I'll be absolutely fine, whereas he needs to like go out, get fresh air, interact with people. I'm gonna go with a Marc Jacobs concealer in the shade Tan, so it's a bit darker, just to give me a little bit of a bronze effect, you know. So next question is from Kendra, and she asks, how do you talk to a guy if you're nervous? Ooh, girl. Do you know what? I just feel like it's 2020 these days. It's time to stop waiting for them to come and approach you. I personally feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong if you like someone to try to get their attention and go up and make the first move, you know? Like, obviously, the last thing you want to do is to act too desperate or too available because that ain't cute, you know, guys. Like the chase and all that jazz. I always think if you was at a club or if you see someone, you should like, do that whole thing where you make the 3-second eye contact rule. Give them the glance from across the room. If they don't get the hint, then you should definitely just go over there and just be like, hi, what's your name? What you doing here? Where do you live? Like, just make small talk and then hopefully they will kind of get the hint. If you're kind of getting like cold shoulder vibes, then I would walk away from that. But if they're taking the bait and they are giving you really good conversation, like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with like giving your number. You don't want to act too desperate, but you need to act available enough where they kind of see that you're interested. I'm just going to powder my skin with banana bread. Okay, so the next question is from Sherry, and she asks, what exactly are you doing to keep a relationship for 11 years? If I'm completely honest, like, I feel like you kind of need a balance of yin and yang. So I feel like if you're too similar, you'll probably drive each other crazy. But obviously you can't be two polar opposites because then you won't have nothing in common. But I do feel like it does really help that me and Gran kind of grew up together. We have the same goals. I feel like the main thing that kind of breaks up relationships is when you don't have the same exact morals. So when it comes to marriage and when it comes to kids, you guys need to be on the same page when it comes to that, because I feel like that's definitely a deal breaker. Imagine if if you wanted kids but he never wants kids, like that's just never gonna work. Also, when it comes to where you want to live in the future, your goals for the future, I feel like stuff like that you really need to address early on, or if anything changes you need to have really, really good communication skills. Yeah, I feel like communication is the biggest reason why me and Grang are so close to this very day, because I feel like I can honestly say whatever's on my mind. If I'm annoyed at him, if I'm annoyed at something else, I don't feel like I have to control what I say. I can just be 100% myself, and I feel like if they love you at your worst, then it's gonna be good when you're at your best, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier Bronze number 3. So this is just like a darker powder, but I'm using it to bronze up my skin. So the next question is from Elle, and she says, how do you find the time to spend together when you're working long hours without just watching TV? Oh my god, guys, I feel like everyone in a long-term relationship definitely falls into this rut. If you don't, then please comment down below, like, what are your tips? Because even now, I feel like the only time that I get to spend with Grang is when we shut off all the laptops and we just put something on the telly. But I do think it's really important to make plans to do stuff. I find with me, because I'm so proactive all the time, I want to just switch off my mind, so automatically I just go to watching telly or something. But if you both are couch potatoes like me and Grang, something that really helped us is playing games together. Like, it's a really, really good way to take your mind off things, especially there's so many games on our Nintendo Switch that's like co-op games, so we can play things together and work together as a team and work on your communication skills, girl, because sometimes I'll be screaming at the telly. Also, try to book little weekend trips away if you have the funds for it, you know, because sometimes I feel like we kind of put that on the back burner and we make all these excuses that we can't afford that, we can't do that, when really you can afford it, but you just don't make it a priority. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm going in with my Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter. This was my favourite highlighter for the longest time, and I don't know why. I just found it at the back of my drawer and I was like, oh my god, I haven't used you in a long time. So I'm getting a lot of questions about whether me and Grang are gonna get married soon. Also, it's so weird because a lot of Grang's friends are all getting married at the moment. They're all having kids, and it's so weird because he's grown up with his friends and it's weird to see them like all settle down now and have kids, and it naturally makes you think like, oh my god, is that going to be our next step? But I've always kind of said that I've always wanted a house before I get married. We've been together for a long time now, like 11 years is a long time. We also live together as well, and I personally feel like the next step for us personally is buying a house. The thought of me wearing a dress and everyone staring at me, I'm just like, ah! The thought of making a speech or anything like that, I'm just like, ah! I also feel like I have hardly no friends to invite to the wedding, so it's also like, ah! I'm going to quickly go in with a blusher. This is from MAC. It's the Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Hot Damoiselle. I feel like I'm pretty alone on that one because every girl and their mama seems to want a big fancy wedding, but I'm just like, no thank you. Oh, this blusher is so pretty. It has like a really nice golden sheen to it. Okay, so I've got my eyebrows on. So I used the Benefit Precisely My Brow on my eyebrows, and then on top of that I went in with the Glossier Eyebrow Flick just to give me the hair-like strokes. Okay, so to switch things up, I'm going to go with some contact lenses. This is the Desio contact lens in Shameless Hazel. So I don't need contact lenses for sight. I literally just wear it for the vanity reasons. Okay, so my contact lenses is finally on half an hour later. That took me way too long to do this. Okay, so I'm going to go in with an eyeshadow base. This is Rumor Number 3 from P. Louise. Gonna squeeze a little bit of this on my eye just to prep my eyes for the eyeshadow. Okay, so while I blend out this eyeshadow, I'm gonna answer another question. Do you and Grang fight a lot? If so, how do you guys resolve it? Yes. I'm not gonna be one of those girls that's gonna be like, no, we never argue, we just bicker. Guys, we have full-blown arguments. I swear I have something called the Asian rage. I probably get it from my dad. Like, I have such a little bit of patience. I hate repeating myself, and Grang's quite a slow guy. He likes to do things all prim and proper and takes his time, whereas I'm like slapdash, do it right now type of person. So we argue a lot about that. A lot of things that we argue about is to do with work, if I'm honest. I feel like if we didn't work together, we probably wouldn't argue as much, especially because I'm so passionate about my job. I definitely feel like I put him under a lot of pressure, and I equally put myself under a lot of pressure, because if he's not performing well, that means I'm not performing well. So we have like really big arguments sometimes. But I do have to say that in 11 years of being with him, we've never ever broken up for a long period of time. Like, you know, some people, when they say they've been together for a long time, they've actually had like a 3-month break in between. Me and Grant have never broken up longer than a day. I'll probably say 2 days maximum. So when I say it's been 11 years, guys, it's been a full 11 years with no breakups, no breaks. Okay, so I'm gonna go with eyeshadow now. I want to do something really nice and Valentine's Day appropriate, so I'm gonna go with the Blood Sugar palette from Jeffree Star. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this shade called Cavity. So it's something that I used to be really bad at before. Whenever we used to argue, I used to be like, leave then! No one's making you stay then, leave, go! I just used to get so enraged and I would just want to break up straight away. But I've definitely tried to stop myself from doing that, because that's not gonna help nobody with anything. The best thing to do, especially while I am angry, is to just step back, not talk to each other for a while, and then afterwards I just kind of get over it. We end up like talking about it and we always say sorry to each other. So hopefully the argument doesn't happen again. For me personally, I definitely think it's good to talk about it, because sometimes when you just sweep things under the rug, the problem never gets resolved. So I know everyone deals with arguments in a certain way, but I definitely feel like for me, I need to step away from the situation. Otherwise I say really, really hurtful things. Like sometimes, guys, I can spit out venom. Like the words that I say are so horrible, even though I don't mean it. It's just when I'm in the fit of rage, I just see red and I don't know what buttons to press. So I end up being a big bitch. So that's not good. It's best for me to get my point across and then shut off. Don't talk to me for a good 20 minutes and then I'll come chat to you when I'm ready. This pink is popping. It's popping. It's popping. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this shade here called Extraction. Okay, so the next question that I got asked is, do you get asked a lot about kids and marriage a lot by relative or friends? Does it annoy you? I get asked this question a lot online because of my job. At first, it used to kind of annoy me, because I used to be like, oh my god, how many times do I have to answer this fucking question? But I do have to remember that people are not doing it maliciously. They are literally doing it because they're curious. You should never assume that someone is able to have kids. Like, what if someone is trying to have kids but they can't conceive? And sometimes you just don't want every Tom, Dick and Harry to know your business. Yeah, it doesn't annoy me anymore, but I do have to say, if you are out there and you keep asking people this question, just be mindful that not everyone wants to have kids and it could be a really sensitive subject. So try to mind your damn business. Okay, so the next question is, what is the best advice for living together? I feel like I can only answer this question like halfway, because we still kind of live at home with family. So we haven't fully lived just us two before, but my mum does travel to Vietnam really often. Like, she's away now until April. My younger sister still lives here and stuff. So I feel like I need to answer this question again once we officially move out, or one day if we do officially move out. I feel like that's going to be so far away. I don't know why, guys. Sometimes I just feel like I have no hope on moving out. Tips that I would say is, at first it's really hard to get used to each other's habits. Like, even now it really annoys me when Grant goes to the toilet for like half an hour and I'm like, what are you doing in the fucking toilet? I don't know why, he just loves sitting in the toilet for ages just on his phone. And I'm like, for me, the last place I ever want to be is just sitting in a smelly old toilet. But he just loves it in there, guys. I think it must be a boy thing. I don't know. Comment down below if your partner does that too. But you do have to remember that naturally the next step is to move in with each other, so you kind of have to accept them for all their flaws. I feel like before me and Gran lived together, I was always so worried about, oh my god, he can't see me without makeup. I always had to wear makeup to bed because I didn't want him to see me at my scruffiest. But now that we live together, I feel like we can just be 100% ourselves. Like, I could not shower for 2 days, I can be smelling, my hair can be a greasy rotten thing on my head, and he'll still love me for me. So yeah, that's just one of the reasons why I love Gran so much, because he can see me at my worst and I'm still not embarrassed about it. But yeah, I feel like I need to come back to the question when me and Gran eventually actually do move out, because then I'll be able to answer fully, you know? Okay, so the next question is from Erica, and she asked, any tips for long distance relationships? So I have never been in a long distance relationship, and I don't know if I would actually be able to do that for a long period of time. I feel like maybe now, because me and Gran have been together for such a long period of time, that we can maybe do long distance for like 1 or 2 months. But I do think it is important to know that long distance isn't going to be forever. If it is going to be forever, then maybe rethink about that relationship. It might be one of those things where it's just not the right time in your life. But if you know that the long distance relationship thing is going to be only for a couple of months and you feel like the relationship is worth it, to do long distance, then 100% again, communication is the best thing. Like, we actually live in a really, really good time where there's really, really good technology. There's internet every single place that you go. You can work from anywhere, really. You should kind of use that to your advantage, you know, if you feel like the relationship is worth all that trouble. Okay, so the next question is a juicy one. And she asked me, how do you deal with a boyfriend that cheated on you? Do you break up or do you continue? Oh, babes, 100% break the fuck up. Don't ever feel like that is the only person for you, because clearly they do not consider you when they was having their fun. So why would you consider their feelings? Girl, trust me, at the moment it might feel like, oh, there's no one else out there for me. He done a silly mistake. But once a cheater, always a fucking cheater, bitch. But if you are going to accept him, you need to make sure that you kind of talk about everything. Make sure that he reassures the fuck out of you. Make sure that he's never ever going to do that mistake again. Because otherwise, when you guys have your next argument or when he's away with his friends, you're always going to have that niggling feeling on the back of your mind. The only time that I would ever maybe consider accepting someone back is maybe if you have kids. Sometimes you just really want to make it work, because I know what it's like coming from a broken home, and that's not the greatest. But also at the same time, I feel like with kids, they can really sense when the mum and dad is not happy, even though you try not to argue in front of them. Sometimes it's better to see a happy mum and a happy dad, even if they're separate, than an unhappy mum and dad but they're together. So yeah, that's the only time that I would ever consider it. But apart from that, girl, bye. Okay, so just on my outer corners, I'm going to go with this shade called Coma. So the next question is someone asking for advice. She says, my boyfriend ignores me for a week. I called him twice and he still can't get out, and I feel like he found someone. Oh, girl. Can I just say, bitch, it is 2020. You cannot be anyone's second best. You want to make sure that you are someone's number one priority, especially when it comes to things so stupid like, oh, he can't even call you back, or he doesn't pick up your calls. Like, that is so disrespectful, and he is 100% not considering you and your feelings at all. So why would you ever waste your time with someone like that? I feel like a lot of guys, they want their cake and eat it too, and you have to show them and you have to tell them that you cannot be treated like that. It's only when you pipe up and you have more respect for yourself to walk away, that's when they start to realize, and that's when they come crawling back. It happens all the time, guys. With boys, they only realize that they messed up when it's too late. You're gone, you got a new man. Like, how many times have you seen it in the movies where they've moved on now, they found a new partner, and now all the ex is crying for you back? But you've moved on with your life now, girl. You're on to bigger and better things, honey. Okay, so the eyeshadow is blended out. I'm gonna cut my crease, and you guys should hopefully know now what I'm gonna use to cut my crease. It's the blank canvas from P. Louise, of course. Okay, so we have another dilemma, guys. So someone says, recent breakup. I cannot get over him, and he has a bond with my family as well. Do you know what, guys? It's one of those things that only time can heal. And as shit as it is right now, just remember that everything that you're going through is teaching you to be a better person. And you have to remember that there's a reason why you broke up, you know? Sometimes I feel like when you've been in a relationship for a long time and you break up, sometimes you have second thoughts on, did you do the right thing? But I promise you now, it feels shit at the moment, you feel lonely at the moment, but the best thing you can do is keep your mind off things, put your head into work, put your head into going out with your friends, have a social life. The last thing you ever want to do is just sit at home and mope about, because that's not going to help anyone. And if it was meant to be, it will be. And at the end of the day, your family should be on your side, even if you're in the right or even if you're in the wrong. Eventually that relationship is going to fizzle out, and hopefully you won't feel heartbroken for too long. Okay, so now that my crease is all cut, I'm gonna go in with this white eyeshadow. All right, here. Okay, so Emily asks, how do you know if it is real and when they genuinely care about you? Love you loads. Oh my god, I love you too, girl. Do you know what? I always say actions speak louder than words. I feel like with Grant, he's not very romantic, let's say. Like, he doesn't really talk about his feelings much. But I know when it comes to Grant that I am his number one priority. Like, he will put me before anyone else, and I know with Grant I can always rely on him. I think that's something that I love the most about him. Like, if I ever need him for anything, he'll drop everything so that he'll be by my side. I feel like you know that they genuinely care for you when there's nothing else that comes above you. I also feel like it's genuine when you don't feel like you have to put on a show all the time. I feel like a lot of relationships that I had previously, I could only show them a certain side of myself, and then I try to like hide all my crazy side or my trampy side from them, and that just doesn't work, you know. You want someone to love you for you. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with Blood Sugar, which is like a shimmery kind of red. I'm just gonna pat the Blood Sugar just here, just in between. These pyjamas are from Boohoo, by the way. People always ask me where do I get my pyjamas from. Okay, so now I just matched up my eyeshadows on both sides. I'm going to go in with a new Fenty Beauty eyeliner. So I'm literally just going to run this along my waterline. I'm going to go in with Extraction again and also Coma. Okay, so the next question is from Emily, and she asks, is it normal to lose the spark but still love them romantically? I actually think it's really normal for relationships to have ups and downs, especially when you're living together, because there's so much more things to life, you know? Like, you could be really stressed when it comes to work. You could be feeling not in the best place mentally or physically. And sometimes, yeah, that does affect your relationships. But I do think that you can make the spark happen again. Especially if you feel like you love them. There's so many things that you can do to kind of get that spark again. Like go on dates again, talk and communicate with them, go out and experience new things together. Especially with girls, I feel like we are so mentally driven, and if we're not in the right headspace, then things could be a bit dry sometimes. As long as it's not constantly you're going downhill, and there's also ups as well, I do think that the relationship is worth fighting for. So yeah, I think it's normal, but just make sure that you're always putting in effort with your relationship. Okay, so I just literally blended out my bottom lash line, and because it's Valentine's Day, I'm gonna add a few of these little hearts. This is probably the only time of year that I can ever use them, so I thought we'd play with them today. I'm just gonna use some Duo lash glue just to dot them randomly on my eyes, and then we're gonna stick on the little hearts. Even though this is a relationship Q&A, I never want you guys to ever think that you have to be in a relationship. I feel like sometimes a lot of girls, they just settle for anyone because they're scared to be alone. Always remember that if you are not being treated right, there's nothing wrong with respecting yourself and telling them what you will and will not put up with. I feel like sometimes we just kind of like plod along, and I don't think that's healthy. You should always be growing together. Okay, so the hearts are stuck on now. I'm just gonna go in with a bit of black eyeliner. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex eyeliner. This is a brand new fresh one, so it is so nice and inky. Okay guys, so my lashes are on. I loved how this makeup look turned out. I feel very girly. Okay, now on my lips, I'm going to go in with Makeup Talk from Morphe just to line my lips quickly, which is one of my favourite lip liners from Morphe. Use code TWEED to get 10% off online and in-store, bitch. Okay, so for lips, I'm going to go in with Artist Couture Shameless Lip Gloss. Okay guys, so that's it for this makeup tutorial. I literally just finished off with a little pink headband and also a little pink top from Boohoo. I actually feel really, really girly in this look. I wish I had someone to go, but I'm literally going to go to the gym straight after this. So it's all coming off. Just remember guys, being in a relationship is not everything, and don't depend your happiness on someone else. You should always be happy within yourself. And when someone else comes along that's meant to be for you, it'll all work out in the end. So don't ever feel pressure from society to get pregnant, to get married. None of that matters. As long as you are happy with you and where you're going, that's all that matters. So let me know if you guys like this little themed Q&A. I really, really love chatting to you guys. Let me know what other subjects you guys want me to talk about, especially for makeup tutorials. I feel like this is the perfect way we can chat and also get ready together. So let me know if you guys like this kind of video. And that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Mwah. So I use what the defender fool? What in the fool's going on? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why you guys are still watching. Oh no! Oh no! Well, that didn't go well, did it? I'm trying to film TikTok videos, Instagram videos, and a YouTube video. All in one go, guys. It's so hard. Oh! This is going to be a long blooper, guys. Third time lucky, guys. Ah! Putting in contact so hard. People make it look so easy. Okay, wish me luck for the 5th time. Oh, she's in! She's in! She's in! She's in! Oh. Oh, someone's been raided. All your dilemmas. What's a dilemma?